couple weeks ago, I was sitting with the dungeon master of a D&D campaign that I'm joining soon, and this DM really likes saying yes to everybody's ideas. Basically, like when you're making a character, he doesn't want to limit you in what you can do. So I was creating a character and was going, a centaur kinda sounds cool, and my DM went,
You know, centaurs don't have to be horses.
As we were brainstorming, with the idea of a centaur in the back of my mind, we decided that my character would be from like a desert-inspired region. And then something clicked for me. I was like, oh my gosh, she is going to be a CAMEL Centaur. Body of a camel, torso of a human. And my DM basically was like,
Okay, go for it.
so we kept making this character concept, which I adored. I was like, this is so great. She's like a camel girl from the desert. We even like included a homebrew spit attack for her to do. And then it came time to sit down and doodle designs for my character. And then I remembered that camels look like that. Camels are cute, but the thing that makes them cute is their faces. And that's the one part of the camel that's not in my character's design. So as I started doodling, I was like, oof, I might have my work cut out for me. So I decided that I would take you guys along with me for my journey of designing her and making this CAMEL Centaur look cute. My goal for this video is to make the cutest, prettiest CAMEL Centaur, and I hope I succeed because it would be such a flex if I could make a design that on paper sounds like it shouldn't work. So if that sounds like a fun time, stick around for the video. I'll see you guys there. For this character's design, I wanted to take inspiration from traditional Middle Eastern clothing. So I was kind of looking at different references to see like what styles were the most interesting to me. And I came across this photo of a traditional Kurdish outfit, and I thought it was really pretty and I thought it'd be a cool starting point for my character's design. And this photo like kind of inspired me to take inspiration from traditional Kurdish clothing for my character's design. Fun fact actually, I am a quarter Kurdish. I only learned about this a few years ago because we just never knew. Everyone that I've mentioned this to has immediately responded with, cool, what is Kurdish? So I figured that I would give you guys a rundown. I also learned a lot of this for the first time myself as well because I didn't know much about Kurdish culture until this project. If I remember correctly, the Kurdish people are the largest ethnic group with 35 million people that don't have a country. They're kind of spread out around Iraq, Iran, Syria, and Turkey. And while I was working on this drawing, I put on a few video essays about Kurdish history and like the Kurdish fight for independence and things like that in the background, so I could kind of like learn a little bit more while I was drawing her. But also I'd recommend you do your own research as well because I'm like very new to researching this and I don't know a ton. I am by no means the expert, I'm someone just in like the beginning of learning about the Kurdish people. They're very cool people with like a lot of history and it's definitely something I want to learn a lot more about. About the design itself, something you might be asking yourself, because I know my dad asked me this when he saw this design, is why is she a one-hump camel and not like two humps? And that reason is actually very simple. She is a dromedary camel, which is the kind of camel common to the Middle East and Africa, whereas Bactrian camels, which are the camels with two humps, are more common to Asia. So I wanted her to be consistent with like the region I'm taking inspiration from. Now for the actual clothing, I had a lot of fun going through websites that were like selling traditional Kurdish clothing to find inspiration for the clothes to give to my character. One of the things that I thought was like really cool was like this vest piece here. I thought it looked very cool and was a cool statement piece for the outfit, so I wanted to incorporate that for sure. I also loved the use of like jewelry and gold, so like I put a ton of gold and jewelry all over her outfit. I saw a lot of these dresses with beautiful flowy sleeves, and because this character is a Sorlock, I think like the look of the flowy sleeves like suits her very well. What was fun is because she's so tall, because like the camel body makes her taller, I can make these sleeves super long and they won't hit the ground. I just love the idea of making her super flowy, her sleeves flow in the wind while she's casting magic. It'll look so cool. Her actual backstory has some star theming to it. She's from like an in-game religion that like worships stars. I didn't want to be too on the nose with it, so what I did was I put a few like of those diamond star shapes throughout her design, and then made the coloring kind of night skyish. Like she has like a lot of this like dark blue and yellow theming, kind of that celestial vibe. And then, I know the red doesn't really go with this theme, but I found this outfit when I was looking for references and I loved the way the blue and the red went together. So I added in a red to kind of go with the blues and add more contrast. One of the things that was important to me in the design was kind of having it be consistent throughout, which is why you see like a lot of repetition, for example. Like the camel hump shape is repeated in her hair, the like coloring of the vest is repeated on like the cloth on her hump, the gold coin slash bead things are a lot throughout the design. I just wanted it to feel cohesive because on paper it's hard to be cohesive with how different the humanoid and camel parts are. Her name is Ashti, which is Kurdish for hope, and I don't know, I thought it was a pretty name, so I was like, I'm gonna go with that. Her staff design turned out a little simpler than I was planning for, but that's okay, maybe it'll get a redesign in the future, but I wanted to keep that star shape on her staff and a color from her outfit. Something fun too is I wanted her to be like very glam, so I gave her like this like bright blue eyeshadow that kind of matches her dress. And it's making me realize I want to give like more of my character's eyeshadow because it's such a fun, like playing with makeup is so fun. Oh yeah, something I forgot to mention too. Around her head is this head wrap called a kofi. In all the references I found, it's like on top of the head and hair doesn't go through it, so I guess she's not wearing it correctly. But for this design, it was like kind of important to me that like her hair recreates the shape of a camel hump. I wanted like the back of her hair to match the camel hump to kind of have those shapes consistent in the design. So she might not be wearing it correctly, but I figured for the design that it was just really important for me to get that shape in there, so just a disclaimer that it might not be accurate. I pulled up a lot of different references of centaurs wearing clothing to figure out how to make her dress fit. My favorite examples were the ones that kind of had it flow to the back, sort of like an uneven shaped dress where like the front is higher and the back is lower. It's just more interesting than like the tablecloth shape, to me at least. Another reason that I did like this skirt that kind of goes down instead of a full like tablecloth kind of skirt is because I was worried that if she was standing forward, she would look like, you know those dogs in like superhero costumes for Halloween where it looks like they're standing on two legs from the front? I was scared she would look like that, and I wanted to be visible that she's a camel. I originally wasn't too concerned with like giving her clothes over the camel part, but then one of my friends in the party was like, listen, I don't want her camel butt hanging out. And I was like, yeah, you've got a point. So I gave her a dress, even though I don't feel like I've seen a lot of centaurs in media that cover the animal part of their body. I don't know, see, these are like the weird things you think about when you're doing character design. Culturally, do they cover their animal butts? Because they're covering the human part but not the animal. It's like messy and it's like a weird thing to have to think about. So I decided I'm not gonna deal with it and I'm just gonna cover her butt. Yay! I didn't finalize the design for this, so I didn't really include it in the final sketch, but she's gonna have a tattoo of like a constellation because she's from a religion in-game that like they worship the stars, and each person in the religion like gets a constellation bound to them. So she's like supposed to have a tattoo of a constellation, but I was just struggling to design a constellation, so that'll be a problem for future Shirley to design. Just pretend that that like little doodle I have like on the left collarbone, like underneath it, is like a full constellation tattoo. You see off to the side that I'm doing some expression studies, and that's kind of because I had the main design and I'm like, yay, she's pretty. I have no idea what her personality is like, I just know that she's pretty. So I kind of sat there and was trying to brainstorm like just different expressions I could make her do to kind of just develop her a little bit more. So I have one of her just laughing. I imagine she's like pretty confident, outgoing. She's joining the campaign a little bit late into the story, so the reason she bonds with the party isn't like we have this shared like journey we're on, it's just I hate the BBEG. You guys hate him too. Let's join forces. So she's gonna be really funny to play, so I kind of wanted to make her really expressive in my examples. So I have her laughing in one shot. Also, I tried to like figure out the side profile. I also have one of just her in the desert blocking the sun out of her face because I thought that would be funny to draw. And then of course the inevitable chibi drawing because of course I drew her as a chibi, I can't avoid it. I was very happy with this design and how it turned out. I just love all the gold, all the shine, and like how flowy it is. I also got to learn a lot about Kurdish culture and like look into traditional Kurdish clothing, which I thought is really cool. It's inspiring me to learn a lot more about my own heritage as well. I'm sure my ancestors are looking down on me like, ah yes, our great-great-great-granddaughter is finally learning about us. And then they see that I'm just drawing their culture on a camel. I'm sure my ancestors are so proud. And this is my CAMEL Centaur! I'm actually pretty happy with her design. I think she's gonna be so fun to play. Thank you so much for watching. It's like so great to sit in front of the mic and like record another voiceover. It's been so long. So it's like fun to be back here talking to you guys about art. If you want to keep hearing me talking to you guys about art or making animatics about Star Wars probably, feel free to subscribe for more and comment your thoughts below, all that good stuff. And until the next video, I'll surely see you around. Bye! Hey guys, Editing Shirley here. Like this video for a part 2 and I'll bring my DM here with me to design a girlfriend for my character. That's right, we'll have Camel Yuri before GTA 6.